you were kind of just getting started, and like turn around a couple of years later, you are literally leading the charge. You're an influencer in the space. You're helping, teaching, coaching so many people coming through. You're leading by design, which I think is amazing. And now that whole I guess authority has brought you to a whole new place. I'm so thrilled for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been so fun year after year to get to hang out. And I think I've heard a couple of people say it, including the panel yesterday, which is this community is unlike any other community. So yeah, it's such a pleasure.
It's so cool. So guys, give it up for Paige. We're going to have some fun here. I'm going to turn over the mic to you. I know that you've got some really cool stuff to cover off with us, and I just can't wait to hear it. So guys, if you've got your notepad and paper, get it out there. If you're a VIP, you can sit back and relax with a glass of wine or a coffee. I think it's only early in the morning, so stay off the wines for now. But if you're a VIP, you've got all the recordings and you've got all the gifts the speakers are bringing. Paige, I know you're going to bring the heat. Over to you. I'm going to turn the mic straight over.
Nice. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm going to share my screen. I also want to say that offer that Tim just made was absolutely unbelievable. And actually, Timur did a presentation last October at the affiliate day after the Level Up Summit that inspired me. And some of what I heard on that day is included here, and I hope it will inspire you. So let me share my screen here and put this thing into... Are we seeing that? Just making sure. Okay, great.
Yep, absolutely. Got you clear.
I'm going to see if I can access the chat. Okay, so I just want to add some context here, you guys. There's a lot of people here already white labeling it. You've got your brand, your logo. I saw that from the last presentation. And I'm curious who here in the chat is sort of before that phase. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're thinking, I don't even know if I can really do this. I feel more like a freelancer. I'm not sure if I can step into this. No matter where you are in this stage, I just want to encourage you that to me, it's all about mindset shifts. So I'm going to bring this back a notch and remind us that it's all about how we feel about what we're doing. And I'm just going to get kind of vulnerable with you on some stories. So great. I like the 1.5. So I'm seeing quite a few ones. And I'm going to jump right into this. So to me, this is Domination Day. You guys have learned so much from so many people. I've been able to jump on a little bit here and there, and every single time I learn something new from everyone. I want to talk about the shifts that you can have that are going to help you actually scale your business in a way that you feel confident about. And I think it can get overwhelming. Drop a 6 in the chat if at any point in the last two and a half days here you felt nervous about your ability to do this. Okay, amazing. Yeah, so I'm speaking directly to you guys. This is what it's about for me. And let me jump in. So you are here for a reason, and that's what I want to help you do. So I'm gonna go through this as fast as I can. Please continue to interact in the chat. I am looking at that and also looking at my slides. My question to you is who are you? So how many of you in here, drop a 2 in the chat if you consider yourself a freelancer or a service provider? And I think that's probably going to be quite a few people. And I'll share with you guys how I was kind of toggling the idea of being in that world and then being a SaaS provider. And I think if you have been in that world, and Cece, oh my gosh, this woman is inspiring. I saw her on the panel yesterday, just amazing, absolutely. I know you brought a lot of people into this room who might be thinking of themselves as a freelancer, as building services. More importantly, what are your goals? And I think it's really easy in spaces like this to be so inspired that you start comparing yourself. Anybody put compare in the chat if you're like, yeah, I have compared myself. It's made me feel worse. I felt negative energy about it. I do it all the time. It's totally human thing to do. But if you're comparing yourself, you are robbing your own joy. And it's one of the reasons why if you feel stuck, that's what's happening. So what challenges are you running into? And most importantly, about dominating your identity, I want to talk about something that has really shifted for me in the last couple of years that might help you. What version of you is running the show? Now, that's why I included these pictures of kids, but it might not be from your childhood, and I'm going to share with you my personal story. When you come up on a fear, or you compare yourself and you think, how am I actually going to dominate this opportunity with high level? Which version of yourself is running the scripts or running the playbooks? Like I played a lot of sports, so I think about it as like you're running the plays of an older version of you, and you have to figure that out. So I'm the founder of Kismet. I've been doing this for a good amount of time now, 12 years in the space. I actually started my business by going to a chamber of commerce, grabbing a directory, cold calling for business 12 years ago, right outside of getting out of the unemployment office after graduate school. I did all of the things. I got the Fulbright Alumni Ambassador Scholarship. I went and got 2 master's degrees. I did an Ironman. I was just your classic overachiever. I'm born in Kentucky, so I'm come from a place where I can't do anything that feels bro-y, scammy, like sleazy. So I have world traveled, and I just know that this globe is so big and it's so important to be honest with people. And so, and because of all of this, it's been amazing that over the years, I've been asked to be an adjunct professor in AI at the University of Louisville here in my hometown. But I want to share this with you because there was an old version of me running playbooks. And you might look at that and go, oh my gosh, look at her, she's so accomplished. No, I thought hard work was the way to get to things. So I achieved. And guess what 2 master's degrees got me? Anybody want to guess in the chat? A massive student loan bill. Massive student loan bill. As soon as I got out of college, I went to USC, so I was living in California at the time. And I thought hard work was the way, but hard work led me to complete overwhelm and burnout. Anybody type burnout in the chat if you felt burnout. If your body aches from sitting in a chair too long, if you are always thinking, I'll just get this next thing off my plate, next thing, next to-do list, next thing, and then you find yourself working way too many hours, right? That was me. I was completely burnt out. I actually moved from California back to my hometown of Louisville, Kentucky, because I was so terrified of my student loan debt. I went on for years running the old playbooks that I was a broke, just out of grad school student. And I looked up years later and realized that I was still running an old version of me. Okay, and I'm gonna ask you guys in a second to think about it. I'm not gonna play this necessarily, but I learned this from my friend Mel Robbins, who was talking about what she learned from a David Goggins book. And she was talking about what version of you, what older version of you is running the script. And I want to explain to you through my own story. I thought I was broke. I thought I had a mountain to climb of debt, and it really affected how I approached things. And most of us in the space of web design, social media management, graphic design services, agency, most of us started this for freedom, right? Like, put freedom in the chat if you're like, that is the aim, that's the goal, financial freedom, lifestyle freedom, energetic freedom, like that is the plan, right? But why does it feel like so much hustle sometimes, right? And that to me has been flipping the script of realizing that now when I look around and I'm present, I don't need to be running the same playbooks as I did when I was that really broke person out of grad school. The person who was always feeling behind and comparing myself to others and thinking about my debt. The person who was only doing one-off projects because I was in that mode of, let me just get this client thing launched and then I'll move on to the next client and I won't have to think about it anymore. The person who was so giving and caring that scope creep became sort of like my middle name, and I kept doing that over and over again. Like, drop that in the chat if you're like, yeah, guilty. That has been me. I was afraid to delegate. I was living from a small space, thinking small-minded about what my possibilities were. I thought I had wrecked my life by deciding to go out on my own and work more than I would have worked in a full-time job, scrambling by to pay a massive student loan bill. And I was undercharging for my services, undervaluing myself, and I was learning constant endless tech stacks. Like, anybody in here, you're like, I mean, put a number of I have this file that has all my logins for every software I've ever had an account with that I've had to learn, and I'm a software nerd, so I love it and I thrive on it, but put a number in there of the estimated things you feel like you've built for on clients. I mean, we could rattle off a number of software names and you go, yeah, I built all those things. But now, today, with HighLevel, there's never been a better time, but you may not capitalize on it if you don't step into the newer version of you. So I'm going to encourage you here in just a moment to shift into that new identity, because here I was running old playbooks. I was constantly learning new tech stacks. I had zero recurring income that wasn't associated with my time by like year 5 in my business. And I had to figure something out. And that was when I did an identity shift and I said, I got to jump into something else. I was running the playbook of an older version, and I had to realize, for me, this was an actual identity shift of being a web designer, somebody who was just at people's beck and call to get their stuff built, to being a digital architect. I was now the person responsible for building things that were architecting their business. I use analogies like this all the time, and I'll get to that as well when I cover positioning. But that's when everything changed. I started charging higher prices. I started getting recurring revenue. I started getting more freedom. I'm super proud of this picture right here. This is a house I bought last summer, and I spent all summer renovating it and kind of like working less in my business because of this opportunity with HighLevel and having that recurring income. And it's just really given me the ability to actually play new playbooks and step into a future identity for me. And so I want to share this with you in case this helps you. Is think of being a freelancer or a contractor, somebody who builds or just does things for businesses, as the painter in a house. So you're painting the house. Think of being a digital architect as somebody who's building growth systems for businesses. You're more like the architect behind the scenes. So who gets paid more? Who gets paid more? Who commands more value when it comes to the clients, the person who paints the house or the person who helps them draft it and build the house, right? So that's the idea behind this. And it's a shift into, you know what, I don't need more clients and more hustle until one day I try and retire. I just need to stack one step at a time, incremental income. So drop a yes in the chat if you think at any point in these 3 days you have felt like you have to go from 0 to 100, 0 to 1,000, that you hear people's successes and you think, oh, I got to do that. And you're almost guilty of not giving yourself the freedom and permission to go one notch at a time. Every single new client that adds cash flow, I'm going to get to this in a moment, is insanely amazing. I think we get so embedded in this community and baked in that we lose track of how incredible this opportunity is. And that is what I'm here to teach you guys. And so that's it. I'm going to stack recurring income without any extra work, right? So that retirement comes sooner. And that's what I want for you guys as well. So really quickly, what version of you is running the show? It might not be a version of you that got out of grad school, was disillusioned with the US job market, was stressed out by student loans like I was, but it's some version of you. If you're feeling stuck or you're feeling like you want to jump out of this 3-day summit with more motivation and more momentum, you need to identify that version of you. So let's rewrite it. And I hope that this will help you. Again, it helped me listening to Mel Robbins explain this from David Goggins and all the amazing people before her. But I want you to really identify, write them down or think about them in your head. What fears do you actually have? Because we're all living with fears. It's a human thing. We all have to deal with this. But what fears do you actually have? Identify them. When somebody says something and you think to yourself, oh, that's cool for them, but I can't, or I probably won't, or, oh, it's too much work. Start collecting those fears and thinking about them. And then ask yourself, from what version of me did these fears start? And then, and this is the most important part, is what are 3 ways in which things are different now? And that was a huge one for me. I realized that there was a version of me that was afraid, right, to step into incremental income because I needed to get these, big wins to pay off my student loans. There was a version of me, and that was running from a place of lack and scarcity. And so what I had to do was I had to say, well, what 3 things are different now? Oh, I'm no longer scrambling to pay rent. I've got a beautiful home and the mortgage is already actually paid for through software income. Oh, right. I am this new person of myself. So identify, I only have 4. I love that in the comments. I only have 4 fears. Okay, maybe I have 5. Yes, exactly. And so find the version of you where those fears started, and then give yourself actual phrases in your head that say, this is why I'm a different person now. This is why the scenario is different. This is why my life is different, and therefore I don't need to live by those old playbooks. So yeah, please, if this is like giving you some spark of insight, drop a comment in the chat. Let me know, because really, I'm here for you guys. I love this community. This community gives so much to me. So I'm here for you guys. I see a lot of fight-ons. Yeah, go Trojans. And so, good. Okay, great. I'm loving the feedback. Whoops. Somehow got off the slides. Whoops, there we go. So let's talk about dominating your vision. I really want to talk about this. This kind of still goes into that comparison trap. At the end of the day, this is your life. It is, after 12 years in this industry, it is so painstakingly easy to get caught up in someone else's vision. And the only way to truly dominate your goals over the next 3 months to 3 years to 30 years or 5 years or whatever time frame you're looking at is to understand what you want for your own life. Some people in this room are already doing it where they have 100 employees. Some people in this room are unknowingly trying to follow that plan, even though they only want 3 employees. So I just want to remind you, this is about what you actually want for your life, and anything is possible with this opportunity. And I think this is where I got stuck initially. I thought, don't I need to have a big team to be an agency? Everybody's telling me that HighLevel's built for agencies. I'm just a freelancer. I'm just a web designer. This is what I thought 5 years ago. The answer is no. It's totally your choice. It's completely your choice. You can run, especially now with AI, it's unbelievable how lean of a team you can run if that's what you truly choose. It's your lifestyle at the end of the day. So every time you find yourself thinking about somebody else and what they created and it gives you that fear, you have to then reevaluate, is that really what I want? And how can I just take one more step towards what I actually want? Okay, I think you guys already know this, but I'm gonna kind of blaze through this. It's just starting to realize that one project fee for me, I'm still running agency services. We still do done for you services because they pay. And I'm gonna get to pricing and money in here in just a second, but they pay very well. And then we have the monthly software fee. That's what I want for you guys. And this one, drop a 3 in the chat if you've ever felt like this seems like a big commitment. To me, the commitment is long-term. As stepping into the SaaS space, you are somebody's tech support. You are planning, especially with Timur's help and Go CSM, you are planning on having them for years to come, right? You are committing to learning a platform that innovates hourly, it feels like. I know Fur Patel's on this call, which is amazing. But you go in the Facebook group and you think, did I catch all of the updates for this week? And I think it's easy to get nervous about that. So thank you guys for dropping the 3s, because that is the truth, is that it can be easy to get nervous about the commitment. I want to share with you that actually most clients don't reach out. Now, I know we're following teamwork, so it's like kind of a tricky one, but if they do, you can hire outsourced support. And so I think you have to ask yourself, what architect version of me, what do I want in the future? And that's gonna help you get over this sense, right? What version of you in the new identity do you want running the playbooks and the scripts? And that's gonna help you because you're not committing to endless client revisions. That's what'll keep you in that freelancer mode, right? You're giving them a system that runs itself and then they pay for it every month. I think you guys have all heard this at this point if you're in the high level space, which is it's like a utility bill. It's like a light bill and they pay it every single month. And that's what's really powerful. So, and you can record trainings and obviously we've talked about that. You guys have seen all of this, but the clients can empower themselves. Clients can bring other team members in, clients can build. This is just some screenshots from some of my clients where I just shoot them a screen share video and go, here's how you do it. This guy, Scott, on top runs 2 multi-million-dollar businesses, and he was thrilled that he was able to do something with the documents and contracts. So anyway, I hope that this helps you guys kind of see if you're feeling that sense about commitment. And I saw quite a few 3s in the space. You need to sort of like restructure what that stress is about, because in reality, it's actually very rewarding to help people and to stay with them for the long term. All right, dominating your positioning. This may this is everyone's, in the same way that I said vision is your goal, what you want for your lifestyle, your positioning is also how you want to present yourself. So I'm about to share ways that I position my services, what we do, and how we position our white label SaaS that does not have to apply to you. Everybody put an okay in the chat if they heard me actually say that. This does not have to apply to you. I'm just trying to share helpful tips so that you know your options, right? So I talk about what I build as growth websites. I went from just talking about it being a plain website to a growth website, and I sell it for anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000. And then I use AI to set it up and speed up our efforts as a team. And then we get paid for the software anywhere from $97 to $497 a month. This is the basics, right? And no matter what you're selling, whether it's a growth website or you're just doing review requests or reputation management, or you could be doing database management, you could be doing AI voice, you could be doing any service. So just insert any service when you hear me say growth websites. Oh, and Johan asked me how big my team is. My team is a lean team of 4. And that's the way I like it for my lifestyle. I spend a lot of time with my puppy and out at the parks and stuff, and that suits me. So growth websites, to me, are the digital engine for a business and super sticky. So what I do when I position is I actually talked to the clients about this. And I go from meeting number 1, or from the moment that they schedule a call on my calendar, I send them a video and say, hey, it looks like you're interested in a website. By the way, we don't build the traditional website anymore because they're outdated. Right. And so we're going from pretty brochure sites. And if anybody's been in this space and been building, you didn't have this option for all-in-one. So you used to build it on WordPress and then go through the plugin rat race, trying to find all the plugins to get the functionality you needed. Everything became kind of an afterthought. You had to like Frankenstein on a bunch of tools, right? And you had disjointed tech stacks. You maybe did a maintenance plan. It had to come with some sort of expectation on your services or updating plugins, or it just was kind of a pain in the butt. Now we have this option to say, hey, I'm going to sell you something all in one, and it's going to have AI and automation. And I think it's so easy to get overwhelmed, right? I've been in rooms like this where I thought, what's my niche? What's my product? Right? Just start the conversations and just reframe this for business owners, because they get one place to log into. This is what businesses want. One place to log in, not 6, right? They used to have to log in to 6, okay? I'll quickly kind of just talk about how I frame growth website. Obviously, you guys have probably seen this in the community too, maybe even called smart sites, but it's just optimized from SEO. It's got all the forms. It's literally everything that HighLevel makes. It's communications, it's marketing, it's deal tracking, it's their CRM, it's their automation, right? And I actually have slides where I walk clients through this before they pay me the big bucks to build it as the project fee, and then we build on the monthly software income. So I just show them, we're going to build you an AI, an SEO optimized site, right? This is all high level. We're going to build in your lead generation, your quizzes, your forms. By the way, quizzes kill it, guys. We're going to do your deal tracking. We're going to set it up for you, do your communications and marketing. I show them this. We're going to build all of this for you, but you're going to have the ability to infinitely scale with this platform. You can automate literally everything. It replaces a ton of tools. Which tools are you using in your tech stack already? Oh, well, we'll eliminate those. That'll be great, right? The benefits to them is that they have one central place to log into, and I think we forget that. Sometimes we're so in this, we're thinking, of course, all in one. Not of course. I think all of us can attest to the fact that even just 6-7 years ago, it was not an assumed. It was, you always were on Google going, how do you get a site to do this? Which software should I pay for? Has anyone ever had to have the calls? I hated those dreaded calls. It was always a phone call to the client, and I go, well, you remember that thing you want to do? We're going to need your credit card on this new software or this premium plugin. And I was constantly having to call all the time and tell them, like, pay for this other thing. Clients want it. They want to be organized. They want to open the app on their phone. It empowers them so they can scale over the years. I have so many clients that have paid, 5-figure investments. And I tell them, you've got a Swiss Army knife at your disposal. You've got all of these things that this tool can do. And we've pulled out like 2-3 tools. So there's 25 other tools you can pull out when you're ready. You're in an infinitely scalable platform. You can go to the moon with this thing. And it saves them money in the long run. And then finally, they get all the automation, and I'm going to discuss that in just a moment, because most businesses do not have automation, or they might tell you they do, but they really don't. And they're running around scraping by, doing a lot of stuff manually, and it benefits you as the architect, right? It's one central place for you to log in. How refreshing is that? We used to log in. I used to have multiple browser instances of multiple tabs on each, of logging in, of the two-factor. What a mess. It pays you more money up front, and I'm going to talk about pricing here in just a second, and you get the recurring income for months. I feel like you guys already know this, but maybe sometimes it's nice to just strip it back and remind you of the simplicities.
Yeah, the repetition is great, but don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Like, keep it going.
All right, sweet. And then your websites and your automations are sticky. So I've been a website designer. It doesn't mean you have to. It does not mean that has to be your leading offer out the door. But for me, it always has been, and people know me for websites, and they're hugely sticky. They, on average, about 5 years before a business thinks, I need to redo this. And you get way more freedom, which has been my experience, and super, super exciting and rewarding. Okay, so what should my proposal look like? I want to touch on this a little bit just to kind of drop some value. This is a screenshot of the actual proposal template I have that's built in HighLevel. Feel free to connect with me, and I will actually give you the link to that, the share link to the proposal template. But it maps everything out, because most clients don't buy based on features, which we hear a lot. You're like, don't sell features. But what I see, and I've seen a lot of digital marketing proposals, is that clients also don't buy on vague. They buy on clarity. So I put line by line the actual scope in my presentation, and I'm surprised by the number of agencies who don't do this. So I just wanted to share that. Down to the how many workflows are you getting? How many calendars are we setting up, right? And then all of the setup steps in between. When a client can see how many things are actually happening, and I'll give credit to Julie Stoyan for this because I learned this from her years ago. When a client can see how many things you are doing for them down to the fine-tuned tech setup, they feel like they should be paying more. So your proposal isn't just about pricing, it's about making sure that the client goes, oh yeah, that is exactly what I need, and they can't know that if you don't show them line for line. Then I also always record a video. So huge pro tip, I've got clients, I spent 5 years training I'm training my own program called the Story Selling Mastermind, and I was teaching solopreneurs, consultants, service providers what to say on video in order to close deals. And I have clients who have Fortune 500 clients who now say that, like I just talked to Kat this week, and she said, there isn't a client that I work with nowadays that I haven't sent a video proposal. It kills every time. So once you have that proposal together, send a video, and there's 3 light bulbs you need to turn on. So I'm going to talk kind of about like the talk tracks of what you would say on that video. The first light bulb, and anyone in here who's been a story seller or whatever in my world will know I talk about this relentlessly. The 3 light bulbs stem from Russell Brunson's 3 Dominoes, if you've read his Secrets trilogies, right? I come from it from a very sort of feminine angle of I don't need to shove over dominoes in order for somebody to feel so compelled that they have to buy. This is my own moniker, is like all I have to do is turn on the light bulbs in their mind, and then they want to. It's like, oh, boom, bing, bing, bing. I get it. Now I have a new epiphany. I'm open to understanding what you're talking about. So light bulb number 1 is what is the actual methodology that solves this, right? And to me, this is why we're doing it unique. It's what I've already talked about positioning. You know, you don't need just a plain Jane website anymore, or whatever it may be that you're selling. You're just kind of saying like, this is how it used to work. This is the new way. You want the new way because of XYZ. And that's what this is about, right? You don't need another pretty website. You need a system that works for you 24/7. You don't need 6 places to log into. You need 1 place to log into so you can see the whole scope of your business marketing and sales, right? Oh, Cheris said, yeah, I've started doing that, and we've closed 100%. Yeah, video proposals just kill it. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. You can even screen share the actual proposal that you're sending from HighLevel and then just turn on these light bulbs. You're like, so we're doing this because, right, this is the unique methodology. Light bulb number 2 is the outer world. So that's your social proof. So build in the credibility and trust. If you need to borrow from social proof of like how high level is working in the world, then do that. But, oh, sorry guys, that's the wrong text on here. But to me, social proof is just case studies, testimonials, talking about your client wins, mentioning things that feel conversational. Because at the end of the day, as a service provider, not just selling software by itself where people just click sign up, as a service provider, you are building that rapport with them. So feel free to say things like, by setting up these automations, one of my clients said in the first time of her career ever, she took a vacation and spent some time with her family. Like, find ways to incorporate story, because then they're not just seeing a piece of paper that they need to sign and an invoice to pay. They're buying into what's going to happen to them because they know you've had proof with other people. Light bulb number 3, I call it the inner world. That's the dialogue in people's heads that's kind of blocking them from wanting to sign up. In the agency and services space, it's usually always stuff like, I've been burned, that didn't work before, I don't know if this is gonna take too long, I'm not sure, I might be too busy to give you what you need to get this thing done, right? And so that's again where you can say something like, we empower you after launch, we collaborate with you every step of the way, we have a transparent process. It's basically giving them the confidence that ensures them that you've set things up in a way that's going to get them success, right? I know you're busy. In the beginning, first week, you only have these 3 things to do. I actually pull up the client portal, I show them, and then from there, we'll take everything on, we'll get it done. So definitely turn on that third light bulb. These, I will say, the talking points on the third light bulb come from your initial conversations as you were writing that proposal. So if they've opened up and admitted something, then this part of your video proposal is where you readdress that. If they tell you like, well, last time we hired someone to do XYZ, it took 6 months and we barely heard from them. That's where you reiterate, we have an aggressive timeline here. We're gonna be doing this in 3 weeks and we've got all the processes in place. My team's ready to go. You just have to get this thing signed so we can get started, right? So use what they tell you to turn on the light bulb of their own internal objections. And then one is, I hear this a lot in the services space, is people will go, okay, but if we build all of this on this platform, what happens if the software disappears? Has anybody ever heard that before? Sometimes I hear it. Sometimes it's a fear of business owners going, oh, that's expensive and that's a lot of eggs to put into one all-in-one basket. Great. So not everybody is in this game. This is just how I position myself. You guys told me, okay, if I could just share you my own positioning and you do your thing. I play a very, very transparent game because I run a lean team with a lifestyle business. So I tell everyone that works with me, you are getting a high-level account backed by 6-figure millions in funding and hundreds of developers worldwide. Kismet, which is my company, is your agency of record. And by being with us as your agency of record, it unlocks even more bonuses like our 24/7 tech support and in our office hours. And basically, I'm there to consult you every step of the way and you have direct access to me. So that's the way that I describe it, but you can position it in any way that you want, right? You can even play the game of, you'd be in the same boat if all of a sudden MailChimp went out of business, right? So however you need to do that, that's been a big light bulb for me. This one, I don't know if you guys have this. Let me see a one in the chat if I should kind of go through this. Is anybody thinking like, how do I get clients? Is that on anyone's mind? I'm seeing a lot of 11111. Okay, yes. Yeah, okay. I told you guys I was gonna help you dominate your mindset, your identity, your vision, your positioning. And so you might be thinking, great, Paige, thank you for sharing with me a proposal template, what I need to think about in a video to land this client, but how do I get that person to actually want to talk to me to begin with? And here's your disempowering belief. And you got to figure out which version of you is still running this playbook, which says, I don't know how. Oh, thank you, Cece. You're just amazing. So inspiring. This is the part where you have to figure out, where is this voice coming from? Because the truth is, you already know. You could do referrals and networking. You could go to in-person events. You could do organic social media. That's where I've gotten a lot of my clients because they know what I'm doing. You can do paid social media. You can do webinars. You can do VSLs. I've done a lot of these. You can do joint ventures. You can do cold outreach, email calling. Oh, right now we're doing for a client, we're doing the voicemail drops to cold outreach. It's killing it. You could do inbound lead generation, on and on and on. This is the truth you need to remember, is that you can make any of these work if you just stick to them long enough to see the results. And that's what you have to decide on. Because I was that course junkie, webinar junkie for the first 3 years of my business, where I was always looking for the new thing. Oh, it's Facebook groups to the this, to the that, to the, oh, wait, it's that. No, it's paying for ads. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Like, I won't succeed with the other direction. People are making their livelihood by selling you on the fact that there's only one way to get there. That would be like going for a hike, or that would be like going out into nature, or going into your backyard and going, there's only one way to get to the back of my yard. What? There are so many ways. There's more ways now than ever before. So sink into something. And especially into that new architect identity that you have, and go, what would the architect in me do? What fits my lifestyle? I don't have to do what that guy did. There's a guy in our high level community, you guys probably already don't know his name, but he did a daily webinar. Yeah, that also works. You have to choose what fits your lifestyle, what you want to do, but you got to stick with it. And the only way to stick with it is to step into a new script. Okay, are you guys cool if I move on to dominating your pricing and talking money?
I think if you just stopped here, I'm not saying stop. I'm just saying, wow, the feedback has been
so don't stop,
amazing.
don't stop, but
don't stop. But if you stopped here, people are still saying this is the coolest. Like, you've gone through everything. So keep going. Sorry, didn't want to interrupt.
Keep going. Yeah, absolutely. Don't stop.
You're
this
amazing.
this is amazing, Paige.
Oh, you guys, thank you so much. This is fantastic. All right, so dominating your pricing. I want to talk about this because to me, there's still mindset shifts within this little section. People are so afraid to talk about money. It is. It's a vulnerable thing, especially in U.S. culture. It's like, don't talk about sex, money, religion, but we can talk about anything else, right? Or politics, right? Just keep it all off the table. Well, we're in a group where we're going to talk about money. So as a growth website architect, as a digital architect, my project prices increased dramatically. And most importantly, so did my monthly recurring revenue. Oh, Mike, thank you. Mike said I was in my group for 3 years, and her feedback. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I am very collaborative in nature, and I definitely want to help as many people as possible. So most importantly, so did my monthly recurring income, and without requiring any services. So I'm talking affiliate and SaaS payments that come in every single month that cover my mortgage, cover my bills. That is such a great feeling, right? And drop a 3 in the chat if you're like, I want that, right? And I kind of to see where everybody is. And drop a 7 in the chat if you're like, yes, I know, it's amazing to wake up every month and know that that's in the bank. Yeah, heck yeah, I love this community. It's amazing. I've seen a couple of boths. Awesome, yeah. So here's an example. This past year, a client top spend 40, actually this number has gone up, this screenshot's old, but this is one customer. So I run my business lean. I run my business on, it's a lifestyle for me. And this was because the value was there. It wasn't just a website. It was a CRM system. It was everything we had talked about. And then it was the monthly recurring payments of $297 a month. Like, I am obsessed with this. And I just want to share because I think maybe even just turning on this light bulb for you might be helpful. So software recurring income, it's paid monthly like a utility bill, which we talked about, but I just want to put it in contrast. This comes in automatically, right? My friends are in real estate and they will do anything to bend over backwards to borrow money to get a house, to get $250 a month in cash flow. And I'm sitting here going, every new $297 in cash flow means that I'll never have a roof repair. I'll never have to fix a toilet. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying don't invest in real estate. It's a phenomenal investment vehicle. I'm just saying, think about how amazing, mind-blowing this opportunity is that a company like HighLevel, backed by so much money, is allowing us to sell unlimited accounts. And I got to speed myself up, but I hope you guys just remember like how preciously amazing this is. So jump in, start selling it, right? And with HighLevel, when you team up with HighLevel, you have the 2 revenue streams already baked in. When you white label it, you're charging it to your clients, and you can use your affiliate link for people who want their own agency account. Jump into it, start sharing those, and imagine yourself 5 years from now. of what you want your income to look like. And I wanted to keep it simple because there's a lot of people in this room. There's some people that are doing millions a year, but there are probably, I'm speaking to you if you're thinking, I would just love to do $10,000, $20,000 a month. And if that is you, I want you to start thinking about it in reasonable terms. I just showed you a website I charged 40 grand for because it was a growth website with a full system around it. If all you did was charge 10 grand for your next project and you did 2 clients a month, then you sold them $197 a month software fee for the next 5 years. Remember that commitment, thinking long-term and positioning yourself in that way? By year 5, you've made $1.9 million of cumulative income and $23,000 is coming in a month. And if you use Timar's tools, then they're not going to churn and they've got their website there. They're not moving for a long time, right? So at year 5, your monthly recurring income is $23,640 with this scenario in mind. This means that even if you stopped selling websites, even if you stopped doing new projects, you're still going to be making around $23,000 a month recurring. I encourage you to start looking at the longer term picture instead of just the uncomfortability of maybe feeling stuck, like you can't dominate this space, because you can, and it's one brick at a time. Okay, so, and then I'll just say this really quickly because I have so much more I wanted to cover, but I'm coming up on like maybe a couple more minutes and then time for Q&A. But a lot of people
you're good. No, okay. Good, honestly, keep going.
Sweet, all right. And then a lot of people wonder, like, can I even charge this much? And here's what I want to say. It is so easy to think that everybody online, because it's all we see in our feeds, knows this digital tech stuff. In reality, they don't, okay? The disempowering belief is that the prices for web design and digital services are going down. People can hire from overseas. People can hire for cheap, et cetera, right? You need to remember, right? We all need to remember that businesses are paying more now than ever before. 12 years ago when I started, they were just like, oh yeah, I guess I do need a website. Now businesses are frantic to make sure that they're automating, investing in AI, that they actually have a system online and not just a website, right? Our skills are more valuable than ever. So I want you guys to remember that. And you are selling business infrastructure, which is 10 times more valuable than just considering yourself a freelancer and building random things here and there. This is where businesses live and die, is having an online presence. And that goes for everybody, even with a brick and mortar. And so even if you only charged, you're like, I just can't, Paige, that's crazy. 1 to 5 grand a month, but you build up your recurring revenue. You are going to get to a place, if you keep taking action and not giving up, where you don't have to work again because you will have that recurring income built in. So I hope you guys remember this. I saw a powerful reminder in the chat. I'm glad, because that is my goal. Nothing here is incredible rocket science, but I just wanted to remind you guys of that. There's a terminology I often use for people when I'm helping them when they're only digital. When clients come in and their businesses that only have a digital presence and not brick and mortar, I always tell them, I said, I'm your architect. Imagine if you were opening a gallery on Main Street. You would need someone to design the whole space so that when people walk in, they buy from you. That's what I'm doing. Right. And when I frame it like that, they go, oh my God, this is infinitely important. Yes, it is, because it is one of the more valuable things they can do. When it comes to charging, you can charge for flat rate projects. You can charge for VIP days. I pick up VIP days all the time. I know Sarah Cordner on here too does that. You can charge retainers. You can charge, a rent to own model. There's so many different pricing methods. It's up to you to decide which one works for you. Gosh, I have so much more I wanted to cover, but talking about dominating your fulfillment,
Paige, you're good. Honestly, this guys, who loves Paige? Guys, just drop a love heart emoji in the chat for us. Who's loving this? Paige, I know that there's not going to be a ton of questions at the end, or there probably will be. Look at this. Look at the love you're getting here. This is an amazing session. Take your time. It's great. We won't go over because we'll be respectful for our next speakers. But yeah, just bust it out. You're on fire. This is amazing.
Oh, great. You guys. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, well then, if I can have another 10 minutes, I will cover this.
You got 14, go for it.
Whatever questions you guys have, you can find me in my community. You can find me on Facebook, and I will answer them. Okay, dominate your fulfillment. And to me, I love this word fulfillment because obviously we think of it as... And I see a couple questions popping up in the chat. I promise I want to get to them. Fulfillment is getting the work done. And fulfillment is also how we feel inside and how peaceful we are about what we're doing in our lives. So it's a double meaning, which is why I dropped that dictionary on there. One of the things that you might be thinking that's kind of stops a lot of people is like learning curve. It's like, isn't this a lot to learn? The reality is like every time you learn a new platform, there's a learning curve. So this is the last platform you have to learn. And that to me is something that's huge and has just given me so much confidence to move forward. You're also already 80% of the way there. If you're in a room like this, if you've already gotten a client to do services, you are so much more tech savvy than the average human on this planet. You are so much further along than you realize. So if you're feeling that stress of like, I still don't feel like an expert in high level, you are already more ahead than you realize. And then avoiding these skills will just keep you stuck in feast and famine. So just embrace it. And I just, again, reiterate, this is the last platform you have to learn. This is the last major learning curve. And when you start to enjoy the ride of it and checking out the release radars like I do, you will just realize how powerful this is going to be for the future. I really just passionately believe that high level is the greatest opportunity in our space of this generation, right? So if you guys are fired up, automation alone puts businesses 90% ahead of the curve. I know AI is super exciting, but I'm just gonna kind of break this down simple. There's 3 buckets of automation: prospecting, onboarding, and exporting. What do they need to do when a lead comes in? What do they need to do when they have a new client for customer satisfaction? And then what do they need to do for an exporting? Are they upselling something new, or are they asking for a review? 100% of the time they're asking for a review. Don't overcomplicate it. What I do is I start with a basic Google Doc. I have a conversation with clients and I go, tell me what you do when somebody has a new lead. What do they need to know about you? Boom, type it out as notes, right? So conversations just end up with scrappy notes, which turn into something that is an actual SOP and a guide with videos embedded in, right? So start where you're at and then build to that. If all you do is build one workflow automation in each of those 3 buckets, you are putting that business so much further ahead than where they were. And that in itself is worth 10 grand on the bill. Client portal, I tend to do everything transparently. And I show them, this is again, going back to the proposal, is I've shown them every little thing. These things right here, like tech setup, website design setup, funnel setup, they toggle down and there's all the little steps. And when they jump on our kickoff meeting, I show them, I go, you only have to do these 2 tasks right here and we'll be ready to rock and roll. We're gonna do all 100 of these. When the client sees that, they're so fired up that they got the value of their money immediately. And then that gives you the freedom to just build and create transparency. Do it if it works for you. Don't do it if it doesn't work for you. And then the last I'll say is, once they're in the system, you don't have to be in charge of everything. I work with Extendly. There's tools like HL Pro Tools. There are the customer service that can be done for you. And it is just absolutely incredible. Like it's super simple. So the last thing I want to cover, because I think it's super important, is to dominate your timing and know why now. This is what I've learned from some amazing people at the affiliate day last year. So HighLevel is on track for massive, massive growth. If you don't already know this, they got their first round of funding was $60 million on Crunchbase. Their second round of funding was undisclosed, but that would have been either 60 million or more as a second round, right? So they are 6-figure millions funded. Did you guys all know this already? You might have. The second round of investments was done by General Atlantic. Look at the companies they invest in. Do any of these look like they're going places? Right? So this is the company you are teaming up with. Here's a screenshot from Sean Clark, who we love dearly. Built with technology, which I used to geek out on all the time to figure out how a website was built and figure out how I was going to build it for a client. I don't have to do that anymore. But Built With ranked HighLevel as the #1 automation tool on the internet. It's powering 2 million businesses, right? You are in a huge, amazing spot. And I just want to compare it because this comparison helped me last year when I heard this, is their top competitor, HubSpot. HubSpot is is worth, what is the enterprise value, $34 billion. You're teaming up with a company that's on pace for HubSpot. And more importantly than that, HubSpot has a massive team of salespeople that go direct to businesses and sell it. Guess what HighLevel has? A team of affiliates. The community itself is who sells to businesses. You're not going to be competed by their sales team, at least anytime in the future, because they're obsessed with their affiliates. So The other thing to know is that HubSpot only pays up to $1,000 per sale. You could make $1,000 in affiliate income over and over and over and over again because they pay you per sale for the lifetime of the customer. So my last point in saying this is that this is a wave and it's moving whether you get on it or not. I used to live in California, so I feel that when I see this image, I think of myself out paddling out. This wave is moving whether you get on it or not. So do you want to ride the wave? Do you want to be a part of this? And I know the answer is yes, because you're in this room, right? And I think more importantly, it's where will you take your identity to make sure that that happens? Where's my last slide? Right? I want you to start today. I want you to think about what the architect version of you would do to create what most people want in 5 years or less. Most people won't create this in 5 years or less. You're gonna be, I get chills when I think about it, of how you're gonna be able to show up in the world knowing that you took things one step at a time and you rode this wave with all of us and we're all doing it together. So speaking of doing it together, I full transparency here. Bridget Bartlett has nailed it into my head. I need a community. I have created a community under my brand for Kismet, which means destiny. I want to help you create your destiny. If you want to come join me, it's obviously not a hard pitch, but jump in there and I'm doing free coaching calls. The stuff I've been showing you on the screenshots with the client portals and the proposals, I'm giving those away. On top of kismetbuilder.com, on that landing page is a little button, and you just go pop in and join my community. I'm building it up, and it's pretty quiet in there and small to start, which means that you get all of my attention. You're my first group, and I think I've been so inspired by the women I saw: Sheris, Cece, Bridget, all the amazing people before me, and including Walt and Johan for creating this kind of community. So I want to do my part. Would love to have you guys in there. It's kismetbuilder.com, and then you can jump on that. But yeah, really, just don't wait. Start today. The version of you 5 years from now will have thanked you for doing it. And I just want to encourage you guys to go out there and dominate. So that's what I got. Thank you so much.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Paige. This is absolutely insane. I am completely blown away, Paige. Wow, that was so impressive. Like, just even going back, I've got so many notes. I've been taking notes like crazy as you've been going through. Like, even just thinking about, the version of the self, the stories that you tell yourself that aren't real anymore, that don't have that reason to be, and then getting into the breakdown of how to build something financially freeing brick by brick, and everything is just incredible. Guys, give it up for Paige. Like, just drop some love there in the chat. This has been absolutely phenomenal, Paige. Thank you. Amazing, guys. Drop a thank you, drop a fire. Like, look at the friendship, look at the love coming in there for you, Paige. That is absolutely incredible. Guys, we are blown away to have so many amazing people inside of this community coming in and sharing with us on the unofficial GHL Summit right now. I need a little bit of a feedback time. So, Paige, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so thankful that you came and shared so openly, because what you just gave here on this room, guys. Let me just say this real clear. If all you got from this presentation was the last 45 minutes, then you have just received the blessing to build a 7-figure business, all right? From just this session alone. When you stack every single speaker and all of the sessions that you've been able to have access to with this event, you've got something so good. Paige, this is amazing. Where will we see you next? Like, I'm seeing some incredible things coming through for you. I'm going to give these guys a little feedback challenge in a moment, but I just want to see, like, where are you going next?
Yes, super honored. I have a high-level masterclass coming up on September 9th, and then I will be on the stage in October at the Level Up in Dallas. I will see you guys. I always love seeing you guys. So yeah, if you guys are going to be there, definitely come say hi. If you've seen me here and then you end up in Dallas and you see me walking around the halls aimlessly, please come give me a hug or a high five.
Aimlessly. I love it. Guys, this is amazing. So, Johan, I know we're going to break for a second and just ask people to do that video feedback, but you wanted to jump in?
Yeah. Well, we can send them the link. They can leave the feedback. That's no problem. But I'd love to have Paige on here for another 4 minutes while Lawrence.
Yeah.
And,
well, so let me do this. Let me do this, guys. We're going to give you a link, and we're going to give away some books. All right. So we're going to ask you for the feedback for Paige, of course, because she's amazing. But feedback on the event. So we're going to give you a link in just a moment where you can pop open your phone and leave a 30-second video on your feedback on the event as a whole. We'd love to hear your experience, and then that comes into our system in the back. We're going to be able to see who's left those that video feedback, and we're going to give away some books just to say thanks for doing that. So let me drop the link, and then we can spend an extra couple of minutes with Paige here as we're here. So the link is here. It is whitelabelsuite.com/feedback. Pop open your phone and give us a little bit of feedback. Just 30 seconds before our next speaker comes on. Tell us what you're getting out of the event. Tell us where you're from. Tell us your experience here, and drop that in. I'm going to paste it a couple of times so you guys can get it. Learned my lesson yesterday from our speakers there. Drop it a few times in the chat. And then we're going to spend an extra time with Paige. So, Johan, go for it.
Yeah. Guys, there's 32 books left. So just, not books, sorry, 32 games left. So go get the game. Paige, this has been absolutely incredible. And I just wanted to say, this is not your first rodeo. I just wanted to say thank you.
Hey.
Last year in Dallas, it was Walt and I's first rodeo, and you were there with us. I just want to say thank you, and Mr. Kyle Hendricks as well.
That was my first rodeo as well. I know I'm from
I
Kentucky,
honestly meant
but
to
I've
make a
never been
first
to a
rodeo joke. We've got some great friends. Hey guys, so like for the people that are hearing us, you know what we're noticing is that we're all saying like, oh, we're friends. And as I introduce Lawrence and Joel coming up as well, like we're friends. How did that happen? How are these amazing people friends? Do you know what, guys? Like every single person in this room has that exact same opportunity because we all walked in strangers, right? We all walked in strangers.